Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Nitin. Today's Friday. You know what that means. It's Fragrance Friday. And yes, before I kick off, I have cut my hair. I've given it a buzz cut. Did it myself. Let me know what you think. Comments below. What do you think of the beard? The beard's coming along pretty well. I'm not sure if I'm going to grow it any more than this, but we'll see how it goes. Mustache has been twizzled. Currently testing mustache waxes. So if you have mustache wax that you would like me to test, just leave a comment below, or maybe even send one in. Let us know and I'll give you the address and you can send in a sample and I'll be happy to test it. And but other than that, why are we here again? Yes, we all know why we're here. Today we are taking a look at London by Gallivant. So if you're a long-time subscriber, you would know one of my earlier videos in 2019 was covering Tokyo by Gallivant, and you know I love that scent. It's sitting there in my top 5. Will London knock it out, or will it be added? We don't know. What we do know is that it has the same bottle, same labeling, same or similar packaging, all inspired by the theme or essence of London, whereas the previous one was inspired by the theme or essence of Tokyo. It's not meant to smell like London or Tokyo or Amsterdam or Berlin or Tel Aviv or Istanbul. It is meant to capture the essence of a city, obviously through the nose of Nick Gallivant and his team. Now, this is a scent that I do travel with. This is my second bottle. Pretty cheeky. I use it all the time. I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to kind of giving you an idea of how I feel about it when I first smelt it and how I feel about it now, today. And I tell you what, I think you're gonna like it just as much as I do. So without further ado, let's kick off. Where is my fragrance strip? It's right here. Let's remove the lid. 30 ml bottle, travel friendly, minimal design. I really enjoy that. I really like the idea that I can just pop this in a bag or a shaving bag or fancy name, a DOP kit, and drop this in and off we go. It'll get through security, no problem. So weekenders, oh, I really love that the way it vaporizes. It's just so, I wonder if you can hear this. Whoa, look at that. So like I said, I've already smelt this one. This is one of my personal collection. I already own this, so I use this, so I'm familiar with it, so I know what to expect. But every time I put it on, it's the memories that it creates, and that's the whole idea of Fragrance Fridays. It's not just about going, hey, look, this has got some tonka bean in it, buy it. And look, this is this lovely lady who's smelling it. What do you think, lovely lady? No, it's about memories. It's about fragrances as a whole. It's about almost the idea of a fragrance, what it makes you feel. And immediately, whoa, that fragrance. Well, obviously I pumped it about 4 times into the room, so the room's just loving it. So London, what are you giving me? From the notes in the advertising, marketing or packaging, we know that this is going to be a floral scent. So yes, immediately it's very, very floral. And it's not any old floral, it is super concentrated rose floral essence. And for me, as a memory, you know what this takes me back to? This initially is like, I'm not sure if you are familiar with a rose water drink called Faluda. and that is an Indian drink or Indian kind of drink or dessert that I grew up with as a child. They're still available in restaurants today, but it's basically highly concentrated rose water, super syrupy, super sweet, and it's really easy to go overboard. A little goes a long way. And what we used to do, we used to mix it with milk to make like a rose water milkshake, and then dollop some ice cream in it and some kind of overnight soaked chia seeds and some various other things, and have it as a dessert with a spoon, and then just down the rest of it. And what would happen is that you just get addicted to it. You just want more and more and more. And honestly, the first kind of memory that comes back whenever I put this on, it is the cracking of that syrupy rose water bottle, the essence filling the air, and then mixing it with the kind of milk and ice cream, and kind of like getting into that fat where it just becomes so much moreish, where you just end up wanting to want more of it. But that said, a little goes a long way. And this, you only need a few pumps, and this is going to have you covered. And already, forget all the other notes right now. The strongest note that I'm really enjoying is the rose. But there's something else in there that's bouncing around, and it's fresh and warm. So there are a few other notes. And I know in the notes that Nick and his team have put together are things like leather and suede. But the way I look at this, let's go for the fresh note first. So we know there's cucumber floating around in London, so there's a cucumber note in this scent. But what it reminds me of, so you've got that floral sweetness, right? So let's just park that. So you've got this floral sweetness, and it's dancing around, and it's just in the air, and it reminds me of this, you know, Indian dessert that I grew up with. But at the same time, it also reminds me walking home on really warm summer evenings, where the roses or flowers in general along the streets of London are the residential urban areas, suburban areas. There is a kind of like obsession with roses in London. If you've ever made that observation, you can walk around London streets and you'll see most gardens have rose bushes. And in some instances, what happens, you can see this beautiful rose bush, and you see all these roses on it, and you'll go up to sniff it, and it's this thing on, like, is your nose working? But then what you discover is that not all roses are made equal. Some have scents, some don't really at all. Some scents that your nose just doesn't pick up. But then there are some, like this fragrance, which just end up in the air. People brush past the rose bush, and you can catch the scent, and it's just filling the air. You've definitely got that going on. So you've got that in the London. So just imagine this, you're in London, you've got this wonderful rose scent filling the air, you're walking home, or you're hanging out on a terrace somewhere, and then you're handed a gin and tonic, right? So it's a warm evening, flower rose essence in the air. You've been handed a gin and tonic. You know it's going to be refreshing. There's humidity, there's condensation on the glass. You grab it, it's cold. You take a swig, and you take, like, your first few gulps are never a sip, are they? They're never like, no, they're like, gulp, gulp, ah. Oh, yeah, just took myself back. But then what happens is the scent of a good gin and tonic, a highly kind of like botanical infused gin with a really fresh yet not overpowering tonic with a huge slice of cucumber. That scent that you get from that glass with that ice, the fizz, you know, the cool fizz that lands on your nose, the coolness that goes down. There's a freshness to this basically, and it's a cucumber freshness. And in my eyes, or in my nose, it's a gin and tonic cucumber freshness. And it's not like the fleshy freshness of of the cucumber. It's more like it's the skin. There is a deep freshness to this that complements the richness and sweetness of the rose. Okay, so we've set the scene. You're in London, you're on a terrace, rose in the air, gin and tonic in hand. And I would call this almost like a leathery spice sitting on the end. And it's almost difficult to kind of describe it, but it really balances everything out. And it might not even be a leathery spice. I know the team at Gallivant call it leather and suede, but for me, it's almost like a spice or a tobacco or a, you know, I mean, I would say it's more of a, to me, it's more on the tobacco-y end. Yes, that falls into leather and suede, but there's such a good balance in this scent. And honestly, if that was London, I would think of the tobacco to represent the smog. No, the kind of like dense nature of London. It's populated. It's on, especially in the summer, it's hot, it's warm, it's sticky. You know, this is one of those scents that will take over a space easily, and in a good way. It will be like, you know what, I'm here, I've entered this terrace, I've entered this party, and I'm here to stay, and you're gonna love me. Oh gosh, that scent, if I was to sum it up, London by Gallivant, I would say it's definitely in my top 5. You knew that was going to happen. And you could really rename this with a name that could be pretty cheesy, but it's just got bags of it. This scent is pure charisma. That's my take on it. That is what I think of it. I really like it. I love the whole idea of Gallivant. I love that it's a 30 ml bottle. It's a niche fragrance house. They concentrate on the contents more than they concentrate on the packaging. They've got a story, they have a vision, and they're producing great fragrances. So I'm gonna stop there because I'm just getting carried away. Leave your comments below. What do you think of London by Gallivant? Have you tried it? Have you been thinking of trying it? If you're curious about the range that Gallivant have, don't forget there's a sampler set known as the Nomad set. It's about £25. You could pick it up from Muazo and you can start there, and thereafter you can kind of like come back to me and say, hey Nathan, I smelled London and it smelled completely different, or I had a similar experience. Leave your comments below. Questions, leave them below. Let's get involved. Let's have a conversation. What do you think of my beard? What do you think of my mustache? Haircut, I know it's all been going on. It's 2020, trying to start something different. Apart from that, it's Friday. I hope you're having a lovely time. I hope you're taking advantage of any time you have to socialize, be happy, and enjoy your time, really. There's nothing more to say. A little bit of a philosophical note there. Have a great weekend. I look forward to to seeing you again. Bye bye.